Why do families and relationships of love and closeness so often and so much fall apart? Why do two people who were once so deeply in love with each other become enemies? The reasons for such a breakdown of relationships or their destruction lie in a very small phenomenon that I want to reveal to you today. With you, I am psychologist Yulia Latunenko, and for almost 18 years now, I have been working as a psychologist and helping people build personal relationships as well as personal boundaries. I work with individual human problems. I will be grateful for each of your comments, for each of your and also for each of your subscriptions or shares on social networks of my video. So, why do relationships fall apart? What are the reasons for such frequent, rapid, and total the breakdown of relationships that were once romantic, that once inspired and gave hope that together we would overcome everything together? We are something more than each one alone. Today I will tell you about one reason for such a breakdown in relationships that few people know about, and even fewer know what it is called. But first, before I lead you to that reason, I want to tell you a very strange parable which was once told to me by my teacher, an American with whom I studied family psychotherapy. So, on one villa lived a beautiful courtesan, and next to that villa lived a man who fell in love with this courtesan. And more than anything, he wanted to spend a night with that courtesan. He prepared, he planned, he bought her a gift, he bought flowers, and after a few months, after he practiced what he would say to her, he went to her. And so he stood in front of her house, in front of her gates, and knocked. After a brief pause, he heard her beautiful voice. She asked, "Who is there?" And he replied, "It's me, open up for me." And she said to him, "Go away and never come back here again." Very sad. He headed home. He didn't sleep, didn't eat. He was very upset. He was outraged. And he didn't understand why she didn't open the door for him. And then he decided to go and calm his soul in the mountains. He went to the mountains, spent several months there, but the pain didn't subside. He couldn't find peace. And then he decided to go to the desert. He also wandered there for a very long time, several months. He didn't sleep, didn't eat, he didn't drink water for many days. And he even became a student of a great Zen Buddhism teacher, studied this beautiful philosophy, and he calmed down a bit. He returned home. And after a day, he realized that more than anything in the world, he wants her, his beautiful neighbor courtesan, to spend the night with him. And so he began to prepare. He prepared a speech. For her, he bought her a gift. He bought a bouquet of flowers, and once again, on trembling legs, went to her villa. He stood in front of the gate and knocked on the door. And she asked him the same question again. Who is there? And he answered her, "It's you." And she opened the door. Why do you think that is? The first time, Tizanka did not open the door for him when he answered her question with, "It's me." But the second time when he answered the question, "Who is there?" with, "It's you," she opened it. You can even pause this video and think about it and try to answer this question. Then turn on this video and listen to the correct answer. But before I tell you, I want to remind you that I am really looking forward to your support. And I want to reach 5,000 subscribers by the new year. So please subscribe to my channel, share the video on social media, comment any dislike emojis or questions. I will be very happy about it. So the correct question: why did the Tizanka open the door for him the second time when he answered the question, "Who is there?" Is it you? Because in relation to him, in relation to the gate behind which he stood, there, for him, she was there. When he answered, "Who is there?" "It's me." For her, it was as if he was already there with her. Do you understand? According to the principle of relativity, the theory of relativity, who is there? If he's standing here and the gate, she is there for him. That's why he answered that way. And only a wise person could answer like that, someone who has already traveled a certain path and rid themselves of that which destroys all relationships. So, what is it? Mystery, right? It's merging. The so-called merging in Gestalt therapy. We call this confluence. What is it? In merging, a small child is with the mother because they do not yet understand where the boundaries of the mother's body enter and where their own body begins when they are nursing. The mother's breast with milk, they think that their body is an extension of the mother's body. This is merging when some person doesn't understand where I am. And where are you? That is, a person does not understand where my feelings are and where your feelings are, where my needs are and where your needs are. Therefore, when a couple goes through that stage of romantic love, and we all know that romantic love is the infant stage of love, when two are still not, they are adults when they are merged with each other, like a mother with a child. And for each, the other is like a mother. Therefore, this merging, where people even guess each other's thoughts, they are so merged that they don't even understand, are these my thoughts? Or are these her thoughts? Do I want this, or have I joined her need and want the same thing instead of her? People are just in such an amalgam, as if dissolved in each other. But then, in such a state, people eventually start to feel confined and their own needs begin to emerge. And each of them thinks, well, there was a time when I was fulfilling your needs and neglecting my own, even Sacrificing my own sacrifices for yours, Semel. Sacrifice my feelings, ignored them for your needs so that you would feel good. Now, I understand that I am a different person, that I have my own needs, my own feelings, and I am not here to babysit you, to satisfy your problems, your needs, all my life, and consider your feelings. This is the so-called first period of separation. A child experiences it at the age of 3, and a couple experiences such a... The first period of separation can also occur after 3 years, or maybe a little later, around this time. And here, when people start to understand that they are separate, arguments begin. And if people are immature, they lack their own resources to meet their needs. And they are used to such merging. Where you are, where I am is unclear, where your needs are, where my needs are, and it becomes so tight that you just want to scream. You feel like running away from home. Right, there you go. And she, for example, tells him, you don't pay attention to me. It's like a message to the mother, you don't pay attention to me, you don't love me, you don't give me something that I don't have myself. You don't give me compliments. You don't give me gifts. In reality, this is a very immature period. In people's relationships, when they try to satisfy some of their own, very much so, childish needs for attention and love through another person. Yes, people, adults have such a need, but the formula of adult life is such that everything I can take from you, I can also take from myself, for myself. Therefore, when you can't give me something, I won't freak out, squeal, reproach, or demand anything from you. I will take it from myself. A mature woman, a wise woman, who doesn't need compliments because she knows she is beautiful. She simply doesn't need them. She might even not think about compliments. An adult woman who, and so doesn't need any special gifts because she's an adult woman, she will go and buy them for herself. She will not demand this from a man. She will not demand attention. She will not demand that he spend time with her. She simply, if this doesn't happen, won't suffer so much. She will do it for herself. Because there are such periods in men's lives when a man cannot, he has his own problems and needs. And then the woman does not become so toxic. She sees that there are some reasons for this. Or if she sees that the man doesn't at all pay attention to her, has become very cold, living some kind of parallel life, she will not demand this. She will not suffer so much. She will say, well, listen, it seems that our mom relationship has just come to nothing. And it's pointless to demand from you to do some compliments, to give me. It either exists or it doesn't. You cannot demand love. You cannot demand recognition or compliments or attention. You cannot demand it. If you demand this and force your husband to spend weekends with you, to lead you by the hand to the cinema or the park, then it's no longer love. It's some kind of coercion, and it very much resembles the enslavement of one over the other. Merging is not always about being together like this all the time. When these arguments start in a couple, this merging becomes even greater, as strange as it sounds. Because the problem with merging is generally that we don't understand that I have my own needs and I should satisfy them myself. You have your own needs, and you should satisfy them yourself. When we think that another person should satisfy our problems, we are in a merger with the other person. We, like a child, need a mother's breast, a mother's body to snuggle up to mom and feel protected, and her warmth. I am telling you so passionately about merging because I have gone through this period several times myself, and I know what you feel when you fall in love. But for those who haven't subscribed to my channel yet, let me remind you that I greatly appreciate every subscription, every comment, every time you share my content on social media. Give it a like, press the like button, the bell, so you can be the first to see my new videos. A lot of various content on psychology will be coming up on this channel. So the last thing I want to say about enmeshment is that all codependent couples live in enmeshment. They argue, suffer, exhaust each other, but do not leave each other because it's scary, because they fear loneliness, because they are used to having no boundaries, as there are no boundaries in enmeshment. And you can live your whole life like this. Adulthood begins with separation. And if you haven't completed the separation process with your mother, then you will try to go through it with your partner. But this is much more painful than the separation process from parents. That's why I recommend undergoing psychotherapy for childhood traumas to everyone who feels that there is such a problem of codependency, and now you understand that the reason lies in the merging. Merging is a state experienced by all infants who are dependent on their mother. This was me, psychologist Yulia Latunenko. I wish you to mature as quickly as possible together with me on my YouTube channel. And I remind you that each of your subscriptions will be a great joy and a big gift for me.